Good evening, everybody. I wanted to give you an update on a few different things. Let me make sure everybody's live first and we're okay. Give me 1 second. One second. I think I'm on the wrong one. Here we go. We're live. Okay. So listen, I wanted to give everybody a full update of what's happening, and let's start off with the most interesting news, I guess. So, Beth Parlato, you know who Beth Parlato is, right? She had those very aggressive campaign commercials. She called Chris Jacobs a snowflake. She called him a fake. She went at him harder than I did. She terrorized the guy for a year, and he terrorized her back. And it was just like nonstop harassment between the two of them. And her biggest claim was that he was not a real conservative, which we all know is true. I don't think he's a conservative. I don't think he's a progressive. I don't think he's a Democrat. I don't think he's a Republican. I think Chris Jacobs is an opportunist. He's whatever suits him in the moment. I thought Beth Parlato was more principled. I thought she was someone who, even if I totally disagreed with her opinions, I thought she really believed those opinions. And when she said, I think Chris Jacobs is a snowflake and a terrible human being, and I believed her. Because I talked to her in private a few different times, and she seemed to really not like Chris Jacobs. It seemed to be very, very sincere. So how it works was, the Conservative Party did not like Chris Jacobs either. No one liked Chris Jacobs. He didn't even get the full nomination of all the chairs for the Democratic Party. And he didn't win a primary. He was chosen to do this because he would have probably lost a primary if he wasn't endorsed by the chairs the way he was. So they had a split vote. They picked Chris Jacobs. Beth Parlato said, I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna fight Chris Jacobs. And she kept the conservative line. And the Conservative Party of Western New York, and they said to her, we got your back. We're going all the way to November. And she ran on the conservative line, and she ran in the special election. Now, she didn't do very well, but she stuck to her principles, and she said, I'm going to stick in the race. She told me, no matter what, I'm sticking in the race till November. I'm not dropping out. She even changed her filings to make sure people knew she was sticking to the race till November. Now, that may just have been a way for her to get some leverage in negotiations with the Conservative Party, because there's a loophole in the law. If you're an attorney, which she is, they're allowed to take you off the ballot and put you on the ballot for another race, a judicial race somewhere else. So you may remember Beth Parlato was all about NY27. She was born here. She lived here her whole life. This is her home. She loves NY27. Remember, she attacked Chris Jacobs when he moved. He pretended to move into NY27, but he didn't really move. And he said he was taking care of his mom or something. And it was a whole thing. And she was at the forefront of that. And she said, Chris Jacobs is not NY27 proud. He's nothing. I'm always going to be in NY27. Well, guess what? Beth Parlato is now running for state Supreme Court in Brooklyn. Now, why is she doing that? Because it gets her off the ballot for November. And why does that help Jacobs? Because when Kathy Hochul won a few years back, the district was different. There was more Democrats in the district. They recut the lines. But also, there was 3 people on the ballot, a conservative, a Republican, and a Democrat. Now, that was the same situation this time. And because they did so poorly against me one-on-one, the same day of a Republican primary, they were worried. You know, we're not going to be able to beat Nate if Beth Parlato's on the ticket. So they used this loophole in the law to get her to get off the ticket. Now, I don't know what she was promised. She was at least promised that she could run downstate in Brooklyn, which is hilarious considering this is the woman who was Mrs. NY27. Now she's going to run in the kingdom of hipsters, and it's just a joke. It really doesn't make. I'll put it out there simply. Does it make sense that she dropped off the line in NY27 to run for state Supreme Court in Brooklyn? Why would she do that? She did it because the party pushed her to do it. So in the end, she said she was independent. She was a firebrand. She's a party crony like the rest of them. She took a deal. And everyone should be aware of it. I mean, I was hoping she'd stand up to him. I was hoping we could run against each other in 2022. Because at least she seemed sincere and real. Even though her ideas were absurd, I thought, well, look it's better than running against a phony like Chris Jacobs. And she agreed. And let me say this to you, too. If you see Beth Parlato, ask her who she voted for. You ask her. Ask her who she voted for in the special election. Anyway, it's not just disappointing. It's selling out. And it's hard to say those words, but for a woman who called her competitor a snowflake for a year, I think she can deal with being called a sellout, because that's what she did. So anybody watching from Brooklyn, you got a new candidate you can vote for. Beth Parlato. It's amazing. It's so amazing. It's just so untruthful and deceptive, and it's the type of party activity, party boss maneuvering that turns people off to politics. Now, let's talk about something that's great about politics. We have a chance to win the White House, to bring representation to NY27, to fight these tricksters and party bosses, like I've been doing for 3 years. So we have Kamala Harris on the ballot. I think it's exciting. Is Kamala Harris a perfect candidate? No. Is Joe Biden a perfect candidate? No. Is the Democratic machine perfect? Absolutely not. Is anyone has struggled more with those issues regarding the insider game of Democratic politics than me? I mean, it's been horrible for the last 3 years. But let's everybody take a step back and realize what we're facing. Is Joe Biden and Ms. Harris, are they Nazis? Because that's what we're facing in the White House. He's pushing white supremacist ideology. He's attacking the post office. They're removing machines from the Buffalo post office that can sort ballots and sort mail. They're trying to dismantle all the ways that almost helped us win in NY27, but will help us win in November. I want people out there to realize, I think Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are good people. They don't agree with everything I stand for. I don't agree with everything they stand for. And they're certainly not grassroots the way we are. I mean, we do everything ourselves. People ask me, how do you run for Congress? I mean, I've had people come into our headquarters and say, how come you guys don't have better computers like we're Apple or something? And I say, these are all donated computers. There's nobody helping us out. We do this ourselves. And it's a sacrifice of time, of money, of emotion, and time away from your family and kids. But it's worth it because I believe in this region and I believe in America. Now, what do I think about, do I think everyone should be a grassroots politician? Yes. And I hope in the years to come, all of you at least get involved in your local committees. Please get involved in your local committees. So many people talk online. We need you to go to committee vote meetings. Anyone can post on Facebook. It takes someone who's really committed to go to a committee meeting to get signatures, to volunteer. I hope we have a surge, not just of voters, but of active participants in our democracy. And, that's what I'm trying to push on Saturday. We're having a rally. We're going to have multiple speakers. We're still working out who. There'll be lots of people there. And we're going to socially distance. We're going to have a little stage that we're going to set up, an impromptu stage. And we're going to talk, and then we're going to march with candlelight. But the big reason we're doing this is I want to organize. I want to bring more people in. I don't just want your money. We need your money. I'm not going to lie. We need your money to help run the campaign. We're all volunteer based. We don't take corporate money. People sometimes will say to me, well, you took money from this wealthy guy. If we didn't take money from wealthy people, we'd have no campaign at all. Most of our money comes from people who are not wealthy. But we do not take corporate donations. And at least you can identify who my wealthy donors are. Go look at any other politician in Western New York. Anyone. And I'm not calling them out. I'm just telling you the facts. Look at the pages and pages and pages of corporate donors they have. We don't have any of that. And it's not like we haven't had opportunities. I have refused corporate money. I'm probably the only politician in Western New York who never got $1 from Delaware North. with the exception of Beth Parlato, who might get some very, very soon. So, I believe in democracy, but without people, democracy doesn't work. And I need people to be more than just armchair quarterbacks, more than just bystanders. We need players. We need participants. And that means committee meetings. It means being at the polls on election day if you can. That means pushing your friends and family out to vote. So we're going to have an opportunity for people to register to vote and also to sign up to be volunteers on Saturday. And maybe I'll bring some people out of the crowd to speak too, because I've always been about openness and opportunities. Now, there may be some knuckleheads that come to try to harass us or try to give us a hard time. Do not react. They are looking for a reaction. They are looking for fire. Well, let me say that differently. They're looking for oxygen for their fire. Don't give it to them. If you don't give them oxygen, the fire goes out. This is going to be peaceful. And I want everyone to come with a peaceful attitude. All right. So, we got Barbara. I'm probably saying your name right. I'm sorry. Bearbury, I may possibly. I'm sorry. Kyle. Misty, how you doing, Misty? Thanks for coming on. Oh, Misty's saying she's sick of the lesser of two evils. Everybody's sick of the lesser of two evils. I'm sick of the lesser of two evils. I mean, it ain't good. There's a lot of people I'd like to see in office. A lot of people I'd like to see in office. And most of politics is about money. And if you don't have money, they keep you out. That's as simple as it is. The system's broken. But I feel like the house is burning right now. And if we don't save the house, there's nothing we can do in the future. There's no way we can improve the house. It'll be gone. I think that democracy is at risk. And I 100% agree with you. I don't want to choose the lesser of two evils either. I want to vote for somebody I'm passionate about. I think it is interesting that I think having Ms. Harris on the ticket makes me a little bit more passionate about it. And I have met Joe Biden. I've said it over and over again. He's a decent human being. I spent some serious time with him. He's a good human being. But he doesn't represent a lot of things I represent. And it does make me feel somewhat uncomfortable. But this is an emergency. I mean, if people don't see what's happening to our country, I don't know. And our side is so sensitive because we really believe in what we believe. Like, I really believe Medicare for all is the best system. I really believe it, and I'll fight for it. And we know it because we're the only country in the developed world that doesn't have health care for every single one of its citizens. And we have the most expensive system in the world with the worst outcomes. So Joe Biden doesn't believe that. He doesn't stand for that. If I go to Washington, I will make sure that he changes his mind. I will fight to change his mind because it's wrong. But President Trump is bringing lawsuits to take away health care from millions of people, to take away protections on pre-existing conditions. And then he lies and says he's going to put out an executive order or this or that. President Trump just issued an executive order that's defunding Social Security and Medicare. And Chris Jacobs says he's for it. I remember I used to say that Chris Jacobs is going to cut Medicare, and people would be like, no, he's not. He did it in a couple weeks. He approved an executive order to cut Social Security and Medicare. So that's what we're facing. And if you hear the exasperation in my voice, because I'm out there. I've been out there for 3 years, sometimes alone, and with very little backup besides a couple friends or a few volunteers. And I see the Trump signs. I see the Trump flags. I know that Western New York voted for a felon. I understand how dangerous this can be and how difficult it is. And the people with the Trump flags, trust me, they don't care what Trump does. They're voting for him, no matter what. I can see the rise of racism, the rise of racial tensions in our country, the rising inequality in our country. I honestly believe it's more broken than it ever was, as far as the wage gap and inequality. But we're never going to fix it unless we get this guy out of office. I think it's an all hands on deck moment. And that's what I'm going to keep saying over and over again. It's that important. And I see his support, and it's scary. Hey, Bevan Lynn, how are you? Is that the same one from Twitter? Maybe it is. I'm not sure. Uh, Thank you, Misty, for recognizing that. It is exhausting. I mean, you can probably hear the exhaustion in my voice. It's exhausting. The system is broken. I'm with you 100%. My Kinney's watching. Kelly's always watching. How you doing? Your Okamala, is that the way to say it? I'm sorry. Thanks for correcting it. I don't want to. I'm trying to be so sensitive not to screw it up, and I appreciate you helping me out. Kelly Doe, yeah, she's such an opportunist like Jacobs. The fact that Beth Parlato was Miss NY, we're gonna put a press release out. I said she should give up her blue jeans and hunting vest for a single gear bike and a messenger bag. Think about it. She went from running in NY27 to running in Brooklyn. I mean, it's a joke. It's just a joke. Yes, Beth Parlato. Chuck, good to see Chuck on the line. If so, those are the things I wanted to hit tonight. Number one, the selling out of Beth Parlato. I wish she seemed like she was not going to do it. Maybe I still have some naivety about me, about politics. And when people say something, I believe them. But she's taking the best offer they'd give. She's off the ballot, which is a disgrace. It really is. They use a loophole like that and to say I'm for this, I'm going all the way, and to drop out like that. It's just more NY27 corruption. That's the one. The second thing is, I understand people have reservations. Listen, I speak like I feel, and like I always use the phrase from Shakespeare, a little bit out of context, but my mouth is my heart. I say what's in my heart. And I really think that we have to beat Trump. That is the priority. We have to have a laser focus. And I think it's that desperate. I think if he wins, the democracy we know is gone. I will say that publicly, and if I debate Jacobs again, and I hope I do, I'll tell him you're destroying our democracy. I told him last time. I'll be even stronger this time. I'm going to tell him you're ruining our democracy. He knows it. All these Republicans know it. They won't say a word about him, and by not saying a word about him, they normalize it. And when people put these signs in their yard, like I see these Trump signs all over again, which is terrifying. I'm worried about it. Because there's so much misinformation out there. There's so many lies out there. That when people put these signs out, it's a symbol saying it's okay to believe in the fantasy of Trump. Never mind the fact that 160,000 people are dead, that most people are out of work, that he passed a tax cut that defunded the country and gave people like Chris Jacobs millions and millions of dollars. 83% of the tax benefits of his tax cut went to the 1% of the people, by their own estimates. Never mind that, Trump's our guy. Never mind the fact that job opportunities are scarce, Trump's our guy. Never mind the fact that, Kim Jong-un still has nuclear weapons. And never mind the fact that, you could pick it. We never got any infrastructure done. He promised that he's a builder. He's going to rebuild America. Even my little son, was watching a video called Trump the Builder. And I said, what are you watching? And he said, oh, it's Trump the Builder. He's going to build things. The propaganda was that deep. He didn't build anything. He built a wall that was half done that fell down, that he said Mexico was going to pay for. It doesn't matter. These people are 100% behind Trump. And it's sad. Mary Lynn, that's such a nice thing to say. Mary Lynn, listen, I don't want to sound like a martyr. I have sacrificed a lot, I'll be honest with you. And it's funny because sometimes I'll hear people say, well, you're a loser. You lost twice, you loser. And I'll be like, yeah, I don't think it's our fault. It's not just I could not have done anything more. And right now I can tell you, every day it's 6 o'clock, get up, I work out, and then I make phone calls. And then I go meet people. And I do it, besides these town halls, I do it every single day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I do it with a good heart and a happy heart, because it is a blessing to be able to run for Congress and to have the support of so many people. But it's not easy. It's not easy. After almost 3 years now, I can say definitively I gave my whole soul to it. And when it's over in November, I'll say, I left it all on the field. There was nothing reserved. I gave it everything I got. I sure have limitations. We sure made mistakes, but I can say effort. I couldn't have given it more effort. I really given it everything I got. Appreciate that, Marilyn. I do. Okay. So. Oh, not on Twitty. Vintage lady from the Warplane Museum. Hey, how are you? Oh, sorry. I know who you are. From Dansville, right? Sorry. By the way, she had the best campaign literature. It was great. It was off the charts. It's great. Listen, I'm going to do a costume change here. Can you guys hold on for a second? I want to do a little change here. Don't worry, not live, but I want to show you something that you can all get. Could you hold on one second? Sorry. Sorry, dead air. Listen, I wanted to show the shirts because we have the store back up and we're gonna start selling shirts again. And listen, we fundraised quite a bit off T-shirts, and we have all kinds of new different looks and feels and everything. And I want you to get them. So, Torrin, I have no idea. Torrin, do you know, can we get it? How long until it's going to be up? You have any idea? If you don't, it's okay. I just want to tell people they're coming soon again, and people have been asking for them. And we're going to do bumper stickers again, the whole 9 yards, and it helps. I'm telling you, it really does help. It gets the word out there, and it also, it's great. It's a great fundraising vehicle. We really, the T-shirts have been an excellent resource for us since the get-go. So hold on one second. Guess not. But go to VoltMcMurray.com. As soon as we have the store back up and operating, I'll let you guys see it. But, oh, Misty, you have a rainbow shirt? I love those rainbow shirts. They're my favorites. They're the best. The rainbow shirts were cool. We're going to try to make more logos, more interesting logos, because I'm telling you, it helps. So, come to the Light of Democracy March. I'm not going to talk about Chris Jacobs at the march. I'm not going to talk about, I might talk about him in private, but I'm not going to give some big speech about how horrible Jacobs is. It's not about that. It's about supporting every candidate. Top of the ballot from Biden and Kamala down to the bottom of the ballot, whoever your local races are. It's everybody. So that's what we're going to do on Saturday. So with that, let me think. Oh, I'm ready to buy a fashion statement T-shirt, Alice. Alice, you can get one. We'll get one for you. Jeremy Sure is on the line. Hey, Jeremy, how are you? Ravo Root. Hey, Ravo, how are you? Wait a second. It says I can bring people on camera. I have no idea how that works, but that's kind of interesting. No ETA on the website yet. We're still working on the website for the sales of the T-shirts. We'll get there. Just give us a couple more days or a couple more weeks maybe at the most. All right, everybody. Oh, they ran small. Listen, hey, everybody, say hi to Sean O'Neill. Chris Jacobs, man, is still on the air here. Sean O'Neill's back. Get a round of applause for Sean O'Neill. Chris Jacobs' right-hand man is on the line. Watch it again. Sean, tell the crowd. I ask you every time you come on. Tell the crowd how much you miss or how much you hate Donald Trump, just like you told me in private. Tell the world, Sean. Everybody, come on. Encourage Sean to tell the world how much he hates Donald Trump and how much Chris Jacobs hates Donald Trump, just like he told me about a year ago. Come on, everybody. Hey, Sean, what's up? It's so ridiculous, Sean. You guys know how fake your campaign is. You said you hated him. It was despicable. You said it was embarrassing to our country. And here you are representing a guy who does nothing but bow to him. It's just ridiculous. Why are you in politics? For a job? We'll get you a job. Come on, let's figure it out for you. You only live once. He can't be paying you that much. You really want to represent somebody who represents somebody you hate. Sean, come on. What a joke. Come on, Sean. Tell us. We're watching. You're watching. We can see you're watching. Tell the crowd what you think of what you really think of Donald Trump. Jay, better yet, tell the crowd what you really think of Chris Jacobs. Let's hear. When's that book coming out? All right. Everybody, thanks so much. I'm going to see you Saturday. If Sean or any of these type of rabble-rousers come, be nice. We're going to be nice. We're going to be good. We're going to treat people with respect. That's who we are. Always. So we stand up for what we believe fiercely, but we're not the violent type, and we're going to represent democracy on Saturday. I'll talk to you again maybe on Friday to get people charged up for it, but I need you to come. If you can come, people are coming from across the region, and it matters. This kind of event is the physical equivalent of a Trump flag in somebody's yard. It's a way of saying all of this nonsense, 160,000 people dead, millions out of work, lies, conspiracies, it doesn't work. It's not normal. That sign in your yard is something we oppose. And the only way to get that message out is to be very, very vocal and to be seen. And I need you to do it. All right. Yeah, Mary, you're absolutely right. It's so spineless. The way they act is so spineless. Come on, Sean, needs to be a t-shirt. I may work on that one. Sean, you are trying to pivot so hard. You can't pivot from the stuff Chris Jacobs said. You might as well own it, because no matter what, his political career is over. Because Donald Trump's gone, and Jacobs tied himself. It was like he bought a ticket for the Titanic when he already knew the Titanic had sunk. We might as well just boat him out there and throw him overboard. It's insane for him to back Donald Trump at this time. Like I said at the debate, Jacobs is one of the richest men in America. He could have beat me. He could have beat me without buddying up with Trump, but he didn't. He chose the easiest way, and people will remember it. Trust me, I talked to even family members of Chris. I talked to people all over the country. I talked to all the unions, all the people that used to work with him and know him. They're ashamed of him. They can't believe it. Even his own family. And that stain's not going to go away, because Donald Trump is going to go down as the worst president, not only of our lifetimes, maybe ever. No president has worked harder to undermine our democracy. Put that on a commercial, because in 20 years when my kids see it, they'll be proud of it. Because I had a backbone, Sean. Yours is jelly, and I don't think Chris was ever born with one. So, there you go. I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks. I'll see you Saturday. I appreciate it. Speak up, Sean. Tell the truth.